Okay, hopefully we can't hear the fan in the background because I'm in my parents' basement and there is a leak in the sink behind me. And there's a fan going. So, yes. Hi, it is I. Back again. It is Rin, or Erin. Most of you know me as Erin, so we'll go with that. Back with another video. This one I've been kind of excited to make because the gist of it is I'm going to be sharing my little brain world with you guys. I've had this little brain world for years now. And I'm excited to share with you guys kind of what it is and what I want to do with it. It's not going to be anything much more big and special than that in terms of this video. But yeah, quick updates. Still unemployed because still having seizures. That's great. We love it. I did do a shadow placement for a week at the school that my sister teaches at. And I discovered, hey, maybe I want to be an art teacher. So I might be pursuing that. So we'll see, just trying to keep art in my life and try to make some kind of money off of it in this capitalist society. So to get into it, this little world didn't start as a little world at first. It started as some little tidbits of some little concepts. The first one appeared around my freshman year of high school, around 2014, and it was a piece that I had done digitally of a deer jumping over some sort of clock thingy. But this piece, I remember doing it and being like, wow, hey, I'm proud of this. This is something. And then, but that's kind of how it started. And then it, of course, evolved since the past, 10 years. It's called Time Thief. It's kind of inspired by those stories like Narnia or The Jungle Book. And I was really into Philip Pullman's Golden Compass, his Dark Materials trilogy at the time as well. So that kind of factored into it as well. And it really evolved a lot over time, but the brief synopsis is World of Animals is created by this deer overlord, little deer guy, as a sanctuary away from man. And so they get their own little separate world to live in and evolve without the hindrance of man to have language and monarchies and cool stuff. And it's going great, and it's this animal utopia for centuries until a modern day human child falls into the realm. It's basically a story of this little boy falling into the animal world. And it's the first time they've ever had a human in their world. The animals all freak out. They don't know what to do. This mother lioness takes him on as her little charge, her little baby boy. And it's kind of a story about, classic fantasy adventure and traveling, but also, it has turned into a story of reconciling with grief and finding love again in the form of, child and parent relationships and having relationships, romantic or non-romantic, in your life that fulfill you, and realizing that that is what you actually need all along. Not revenge, not to bring somebody back from the dead, not power, but just being fulfilled with those around you. It's currently at a word count. This is a novel, by the way. I realize I neglected to say that this is indeed a novel. It's currently at a word count of, I don't know, I'll put it on the screen right here. Boop. That amount of words as of a month ago. And I'm pretty proud of it so far. I think it's pretty good writing. So yeah. We're, chugging along. I will read a little bit of some of the first chapter, I guess. So here goes. Okay, so first I gotta read the dedication page, y'all. Because my dad was huge in helping me brainstorm and use him as a sounding board and encouraging me continue on this little world of mine and make it into hopefully one day a publishable novel. So he's the one it's dedicated to. And here's the first few pages of Time Thief. Michaela sat with her back slumped and tail flickering impatiently across her paws. Her father sat attentively beside her, listening as one of the scouts droned on and on about the reports for the day so far. Michaela sighed. Being princess wasn't without its perks, but this wasn't one of them. Her yellow eyes passed lazily over her father's familiar figure, a lion with warm ochre fur, a straight, chiseled face, and a radiant mane silhouetted against the afternoon sun, the king of the Pride. The Pride camp was bustling with activity that signaled the fast-approaching end of the day. Red rocks and thorn bushes stood like sentries around their camp, sheltering its inhabitants. Not that they needed protecting. The lions of the Sun Kingdom were particularly fierce and proud and noble. The sun was past its highest point, beginning its descent into the ground where it would sleep until morning. Mothers would soon be ushering cubs to bed, and the males would roar their territory calls as the sun set. Now was the time for the Pride to come together in their home and recount the happenings of the day. Presently, as the scout, a young male lion, spoke of the day's news to King Ra, he developed a hushed, urgent tone of voice. Michaela's ear swiveled toward him. Lastly, my lord, the scout relayed, there has been another sighting. Interest piqued, the princess leaned in slightly toward the two males. Ra's muzzle grew stern in expression. His eyes narrowed. Apes? Yes, my king. The tense silence that filled the air between the three lions was palpable. It filled Michaela from ear to claw with tingling, rushing anxiety. Apes weren't rare, if one lived further north, near the far lands. But this far south, in the sparse savanna of the Sun Kingdom, it was unheard of. Until recently. Michaela's bones quivered at the mere mention of apes so close to the Pride. Immediately, she conjured images of biped, long-limbed creatures with hairless faces and sharp teeth. But it wasn't the teeth to be afraid of, for Michaela had fangs too. It was their minds. An ape would kill you in the most creative way possible. All humane methods that she was taught as a huntress were of least concern to such brutish beasts. Rumor had it they could even take out eyes with sharp branches and crush spines by hurling large stones. The princess suppressed a shiver. Very well, came Ra's forcibly calm voice. Organize a guard for the camp each night. Double the patrols, and don't tell the Pride. We don't need any more strain or fear around here. The scout bowed obediently and trotted away. Michaela gave a humph of disapproval. You really think hiding this from the Pride is the best idea? Her father turned toward her slowly, staring keenly at her. What else would you have me do? Seth is already slinking around in the night, scheming and spreading rumors. The Pride doesn't need another thing to be worried about. Teeth now on edge, Michaela fought to keep her claws in at the mention of the name. Seth? I don't understand why you don't just end his mischief once and for all. You could take him. Ra chuckled. My dear, when you're as old as I am, you cannot rely on your strength to do your job for you. Michaela turned her shoulders away so as not to let Ra see them sink. So, you really think there are apes out there? Yes, I have smelled them myself, but I did not want to believe it. I will have you take an escort when you leave camp from now on, for the foreseeable future. The old king's eyes glittered with worry as he stared into the distance. Going over some of the art really quick and talking about some of the characters, I initially didn't know if I wanted to do this as like a digital comic. I was inspired a lot by like those old 2010s web comics. I'm talking about Off-White by Acreon. And there was one called Son of the Philosopher that I got really into by, I think their name is Decarbri on DeviantArt nowadays. Then I started drawing the first few pages and realized, wow, I don't know how to make a comic, and I don't like how this looks, and I can write way faster than I can make a comic page. And I'm happy with the novel format for this story, actually. I think it's well suited to the type of story that I want to tell, and the format, you know. But there's still going to be plenty of art. I'll probably do like splash illustrations in black and white kinda. And yeah, it's evolved over time. Character designs keep changing, especially the wolf guy. I feel like I can never get a solid design for him to this day, but it's really helped me improve my art, drawing the characters over and over again throughout the years. Yeah, so I'm proud of that aspect. We'll start off kind of talking about the characters. There's Michaela, obviously, who is the princess of the Sun Kingdom. She's a lioness. She was initially the secondary character, and Adam, the human boy, was the main character, protagonist, for a while. And then I got to the point where I was like, Adam is so vanilla, and he's like a 10-year-old boy. I don't know how to write from a 10-year-old boy's perspective. I've never been a boy, sorry. I don't know what they think about, like, what do 10-year-old boys think about? Like Hot Wheels and Batman? I don't know. So anyway, I was like, those aren't relevant to an animal story. And I didn't know kind of what character arc I wanted him to follow. And as I kept writing, Princess Michaela became way more dynamic and interesting to me and relatable. So I said, hey, we're going to make her the main character. And this 10-year-old boy is just going to be along for the ride, you know? As he's going to be the secondary character. So their roles kind of flip-flopped. Michaela had a tough beginning of it. She had a mate and she had children. It was going good until she gave birth to those children, and the whole litter died by the morning after their birth, and the mate was like the walking red flag of husbands. He blamed her for it, divorced her through lion divorce lawyers, and she's been having a rough time of it lately. She's been grieving while trying to process her place as princess in the pride, because her father's not getting any younger. She's got to take up a mantle soon here. So her arc is really about learning to like let go of that grief and embrace love again in a different form as she learns to care for this human cub and kind of take on responsibility for him as like a parental relationship. There's also Shard, who is the wolf leader, and I'll show a few time lapse of me drawing him here. He is an interesting-ish guy. He's a stoic fella, old wolf chieftain. The wolves in this story evolved to be especially gigantic, more so than other animals. So they're not normal wolf size. They're like 7 foot tall wolf size with saber teeth, because I thought that was cool, darn it. And I wanted to write that. So that's what I did. It's my story. They are the historians of the world, and they live in a cave where they paint things on the walls. And Shard unwittingly gets bested by Michaela and accompanies them on their journey to find Sterling, who is the deer kind of... My brain said Jesus figure, but he is not. They think he is, but he is not. Yeah, he's the villain ultimately, but he's also like the creator and overlord of their world. Anyway, without spoiling too much, Shard helps them along their journey, and he's, you know, just a stoic, grumpy, big old leader guy. Not a lot of screen time in the novel. But yeah, I'm hoping to do more art process videos like this. So if you like a time lapse, you know, if you think that's cool, just let me know. Let me know in the comments. And I will see about whipping up more of those. So that's the story. It's not written sequentially. It's written in chunks right now, and I have most of the story chunks there in the Word document. I just kind of need to string them together, add some filler, not filler, but like, you know, some meat on them bones, and connect the big scenes with smaller scenes right now is what I'm trying to do. I don't have a deadline for this because it is a personal project and my brain does not think that deadlines that I set for myself are real. So until I have an external force giving me a deadline on this, it will take a long time to complete. But yeah, I like this story. It's my little comfort place. I love animals and I love fantasy. It's changed a lot though. I mean, you know, as you go through life, changes. I've made tons of art with this naturally, as you've already seen on screen and as I'm showing on screen. So I kind of, you know, when this novel's published someday, I hope to also publish like an art book / world guide featuring a bunch of art about the characters in the world. I think that would be super fun because I love art books and I just love drawing my little original characters. They're just so fun to draw. I've had them for 10 years now. They're my babies. So yeah, you know, comment if you want to see more of that. Of course, you can always follow me on my Instagram. That's where I will post a lot more frequently than YouTube, like a lot more frequently than YouTube. If you want to see more art and updates about this occasionally. I'm kind of revamping some stuff like behind the scenes online that I have yet to launch as well. I was thinking about opening commissions up again since I'm not employed at a full-time or even a part-time job right now due to my health. So if you're interested in obtaining a commission from me, if you like the art you're seeing, you know, like that video, comment, let me know. So I'm setting up a Ko-Fi or Ko-Fi, I don't know, commission hub kind of page. And then I'm thinking of doing some digital, like, printable products, you know, like for download that you can print at home via Etsy. And I'm kind of itching to get back into streaming on Twitch, streaming art there, and occasional Minecraft game or something. But I'm at my parents' basement, and I'm still figuring out how much the internet here can take. So that might, you know, not be for a hot minute yet. But we'll see. We'll just, you know, this is the era of Erin seeing where life takes her. But I wanted to update you guys today on this and share it because maybe if I share it, I'll be more motivated to finish it. Okay, I hope you guys are all good. Please be healthy. Please be well. Bye-bye.